Good morning everybody. I thought it might be interesting to do a little video of my having breakfast this morning. I'm starting off with porridge, which I've made with evaporated milk, so it's very rich and very creamy. I've got a couple of toasted muffins which I've coated with maple syrup. And I've also got two Marks and Spencer custard tarts, although I've just realised that they're more than a week past the use by date, so I suspect I might not be eating those this morning. I don't want to eat anything which might feasibly cause any sort of stomach upset, which could leave me unable to eat anything for the rest of the day, because I've got plans for meals later on. The background music this morning is this wonderful album. It's called Blue Chiffon, played by the George Shearing Quintet, and I noticed from the back of the sleeve here that I actually bought it in July 1960. So that's what, 57 years ago. And as you can probably hear, it's playing perfectly well because I love my vinyl and I always take very good care of it. So not bad after 55 or 57 years, whatever it is. Anyway, enough of all this. Let's start off on the porridge. Wow, it's hot, and it's also delicious. Now, I was always taught when I was little not to eat and not to talk with my mouth full. A lot depends, of course, on what is in my mouth at the time, whether I want to talk or not. This is delicious. Normally when I'm at home, I have either porridge or muesli or cornflakes or Weetabix. When I go away anywhere, on holiday or stopping with friends, I usually have a full English, or if I'm in Edinburgh, which I am regularly, a full Scottish breakfast, which is always a fry-up. Consisting of bacon, fried eggs, sausages, beans, you name it, I'll have it. But when I'm at home, I seem to be quite happy just to have this rather smaller breakfast. The t-shirt design, by the way, it's the old television test card. Now, most of you probably not remember back as far as the 50s, 60s and 70s, but there were long periods during the day when there were no programs being shown on television, but of course they still needed to keep the transmitters open and provide some sort of picture and sound so that shops could display, particularly in the 70s, late 60s and 70s, when colour television first started here. So the shops could display their new televisions, colour, and also of course for engineers who are installing sets in people's homes to check to make sure that they're working properly. And the various test cards, there are some black and white ones and this colour one. They were designed specifically so that engineers could check things like linearity, aspect ratio, and so on. And of course they needed some sound to make sure the sound channels were working correctly. So the television broadcasters played music with the test card. The music we're listening to at the moment, actually, the George Shearing, was one of the albums which were used way back in 1960 with the television test card. This really is very nice. Evaporated milk, which, as I said earlier, is very rich and creamy, does make a big difference. I also like making rice pudding with evaporated milk. Delicious. My voice is a bit deeper than it usually is because I've somehow managed to contract the first cold of the autumn season. Just me to get it first, and my voice always drops an octave or so when I get a cold. Well, that was lovely. Have a slurp of tea. And make a start on the muffins. I say, coated with maple syrup. I absolutely adore maple syrup. I think I got the liking for it on one of my several visits to Canada. I've been to Canada 5 times now. Love the country, love the people. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous country. And by gum, if I was 40 or 50 years younger, I'd be over there like a shot to live. Mind you, that's if they would let me in. They might not. They might think I'm okay for a visit for a couple of weeks, but permanently, perhaps not. This maple syrup is wonderful. If you've never tried it, give it a go. It's great. And I'm sure it's probably quite fattening as well, which is another advantage to it. Absolutely delicious. So here we are. All of this should help to build this up a little bit. Anyway, I'm sure you won't want to sit and watch me eat the rest of this, so I shall turn the camera off and say thank you for watching, and I shall see you again sometime in the future. Bye for now.